Thanks again to the student who made this possible. So this is a really strong paper, and we're going to look at it, and we're even going to look at ways that you can revise it, because I think seeing revision can help even more than seeing it just done right the first time, because hint, nobody gets it right the first time. So notice the nice MLA heading over here, and the title. Title actually doesn't even need to be in bold. It can just be, oh, but it's in bold because there are different headings throughout the paper and it needs those to stand apart, which is acceptable in an MLA paper that is, let's see how long, I believe this is 8 pages long. So you might need headings to break up your different sections. But you only need them if you have more than one paragraph to a section. If it's just for every section has a paragraph, stick to no headings. This opens with this statement about The Great Gatsby, and it's a great working thesis, but the strongest thesis is actually at the conclusion of the novel, because that happens with a lot of students. It is as you're writing, you're actually thinking, and when you get to the end, you finally crystallize that thought into a great statement, which is this, that these specific characters create a queer subtext that helps spread LGBTQ visibility. That's even more specific than what we see right here. And so bringing this up here and revising, blending these two things together would make this even stronger. Look out for that in your papers. Something this text does here is it uses a quote rather than a paraphrase. Typically prefer paraphrases, but here this is a definition. And sometimes definitions need their specific wording. And so this is acceptable as a quote, but otherwise put it in your own words, though you would still cite it because it's not your idea. Queering of characters. So the different paragraphs here, notice multiple paragraphs fall under one heading. And again, just like we saw in the outline, it begins with a heavy emphasis on the text and only moves to scholarly sources later on. Sometimes it's appropriate to open with the scholarly source, but it really should focus on this close reading. And there is a very short descriptive, a one-sentence quote here, because it's going to deal specifically with the description of this suit and the viewing of it, but it mostly focuses on what this means. Why is the color pink significant? What does this say about the character? What is this idea? And so it analyzes the meaning of this. It doesn't just summarize it. Here, this is almost entirely analysis. Just a short description of the character, and then this, what is the significance of this for the readers, particularly Gatsby's, Fitzgerald's original readers of Gatsby. Scroll down, here's where the student has included the context that comes from the image. And at the very end, we get into more cultural context from outside sources that deal not only with what's going on in the 1920s, but a biographical reading of Fitzgerald himself. That's also appropriate here, where you might say, how is this author significant to what they have written? How is this informed by their life experiences? And this So What Turn gets into what is the continued meaning, or what is why do we care that this happens in The Great Gatsby, and really makes that, it cements that argument for what the student is saying about how this mattered, how it made a cultural impact. So this is an excellent paper. I suggest reading through it, looking at it. If you are looking for examples of how do I make these kinds of moves, what does an argument look like, here's the resource for you.